Hello and welcome back to Hamilton, the city I've been working on for almost 2 years. Now it's getting rebuilt almost from the ground up. In this video we'll be building the backbone of the city, public transit. As I mentioned in the previous video, this city, just like Tokyo, will have two separate metro systems. But in this case, one is going to be built around the old city center and connecting destinations within the old districts. The Overground metro system will be built to create new destinations. Transit-oriented development, or TOD, as well as variety of mixed-use neighborhoods will be built around these transit hubs and train stations. In Tokyo metro and subway system, they have different gauge on different lines. Since the game doesn't have a variety of gauges and the only main difference that would make networks separate and wouldn't allow them to connect is using train and metro tracks, that is exactly what I was planning to do. One of the assets I want to use for the Overground metro is Tokyo's JR East E231 in Yamanote Line green. There is something very special about this train that makes it look simple yet very attractive. It's got a stainless steel body and a very simple design, but it definitely doesn't look boring. To make the entire network more flexible and realistic, we'll be using two key modes. The first one is called Train Converter by Bloody Penguin, and it allows you to change the vehicle type from metro to train and vice versa. The other mode is the Metro Overhaul mode, made by a few very talented creators. This mode allows you for even more flexibility. You can easily convert the train station into metro station and the other way around, add a train depot and make multi-track, multi-platform stations. These modes are important for two reasons. First, we can use assets that are only available as train or metro on either network. Second, it would allow us to create a very efficient network where commuter trains could use parts of the metro lines. And if you're familiar with the Tokyo metro and subway network, you'll realize that train and metro are not that different apart from seating arrangement and train formation after all. And they could operate as one connected network with through trains. If you want to find out more about Tokyo Metro, I will leave links to B1M and RM Transit videos in the description below. Efficiency and amount of thought that went into building this network is simply astonishing. The line we'll be building today will connect the most important destinations within the city. It will start at the airport, go through the yet-to-be-built, entire city is yet to be built, suburbs adjacent to the city, the transit hub near the Hudson Square, our Green District/Innovation District, Leisure and Entertainment District, the other transit hub near the old train station, and finally, the Tourism and Entertainment District that is a few blocks away from the CBD. This line will later get connected to a completely overground loop line resembling the Tokyo's Yamanote Line. But for now, let's focus on our first line. For now, the line will have 8 stations with enough gaps in between for adding more stations later on. 2 out of 8 stations will be underground, another 2 are going to be ground level, and the remaining 4 will be elevated. Some of these stations will later get replaced once we have other lines connected to create better interchanges, but for now we will stick with the basic ones. We're taking a lot of inspiration from Tokyo subway and metro systems, and one of the key advantages of those systems is a very high ridership and profitable lines. So that is the other thing to keep in mind. Before, this city used to have a lot of lines going in all directions, but the entire metro system wasn't profitable and the ridership numbers weren't all that high. Alright, so the line has been running for a while and surprisingly we've got plenty of riders. To be more precise, we actually have up to 1,000 people using this metro network every single week. And it seems like the reason for that is actually that we have much fewer destinations. We don't really have as many people as we used to have. We only have 10,000 people or so, and we have these massive areas, all of which are connected by this new metro line. So we have the airport, then we have the Hudson Square complex, Hudson Yards, based on Hudson Yards, and then we have the new Eco District and the CBD area, all of which are connected by this metro line. And in the future there's going to be plenty more. There's going to be different rolling stock, there's going to be different kind of systems, but for now that is what we're going to have. And I've actually had a couple of issues with the Metro Overhaul mode. I don't know if anybody had, seemed like somebody had a similar issue on the workshop. So as you can see, we have these new elevated tracks, and that's one of the tracks that I found on the workshop. I actually didn't use any of the ones that come with the Metro Overhaul mode, and the reason for that is I couldn't get any pillars for the elevated sections, so that looked extremely weird, and I could use the bridge one and it still looked really weird in some places, so I decided to replace it completely with the Metro Over road tracks. And another thing I've added recently is I decided to go for the no abandonment mode, because as you can see here, a couple of commercial buildings that I just built next to the train station, they got abandoned almost immediately, and that is kind of really annoying because I didn't really have time to build enough residential, so the people just moved out, and now we don't have any of these buildings, including all of the 7-Eleven and all the supermarkets next to another train station. So that is quite annoying. I decided to switch it off, and now it's looking a little bit better. And well, there's plenty of work to be done, and the road network is going to be changing. I've changed a thing or two off camera, and as you can see, the city center is quite empty. We're going to have a massive square in the middle here. This is yet to be built, and yeah, for now that is what it's going to look like. And in the next episode, we're going to be building high density residential as well as commercial and office, which is actually the ultimate transport-oriented development, mixed-use development, and we're going to be building next to our train station that we place in this episode. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.